Hey everybody, welcome to Block Party number 151. We're going to provide a little recap with a little Q&A here, but basically it's Cinco de Drinko 5523, and I actually this is true. I turned 55 on 5/5. I turned 55. So a lot of fives going on around here. So this is some powerful stuff. And we're using our power in an extremely benevolent way. So included in the email is a recording of the last Sunday's talk I gave at the Vegan Convergence. And the bottom line is this. And you're going to love this, Michael. You're going to be all over this. In fact, you can be instrumental in making this happen in, say, Detroit. But so here's the idea. We're creating a national chain of vegan Indian restaurants. And the concept is best summarized in one word, ahimsa, right? So we'll just talk about these ahimsa restaurants, and associated with each one is a food healers like constant giveaway, breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week, but all supplied by the kitchen of the restaurant, right? And so you have really two things always going in parallel, with a van going in between the two locations, delivering the hot food and the cold drink and the napkins and supplies and everything else. And the fact that it'll be a thriving restaurant, I mean, you can imagine it'll be like one of those restaurants where there's just a fucking line outside the door always, but it's okay because we provide entertainment and conversation. You know how some restaurants have like a really great line experience, it's intentional. Others, you're just out in the parking lot and some dog's taking a piss on your leg. Well, this would be, the former. Okay. Really nice, intentional. And then there would always be like speeches and entertainment. So it's not just a restaurant, it's a hotbed. The activity is really happening on the outside where there's always a line of people or always a crowd because it's going to be the talk of the town. And go ahead, Michael. Yeah. Question.
I would love to have falafel sandwiches. Nice vegetarian falafel sandwiches would be so good.
That's really interesting. I mean, the sky's the limit. We've been working on, stew, of course, but if we've got a, full-fledged vegan Indian restaurant there, it can crank out all kinds of goodness that we can give away. And so what's going to happen is people are going to say, what the heck is going on? You're giving away restaurant quality Indian food just for free. Like, what the hell? And we'll say, oh, not only that, we've got our van when it's not delivering here, it's delivering cold stew, just like we originally formulated years ago, so that it keeps longer, to families in large quantities and community centers and food banks and so we're just like supplying everybody, and everyone is suddenly has amazing access to amazing Indian vegan food that's all about this transition to a new species, Homo ahimsa. So we're really excited. Come and let's co-create that together. We also need to check in on our sisters and brothers in the Navajo Dene Nation and the flooding they've been experienced. Please join us in supporting them, and we'll be sharing all the details for that. Because that's like that's something I think food healers should focus on right away. How do we get food, or how do we participate, right, in getting food? So we're going to work on that tomorrow as well. But I think the writing is on the wall that we really need to push this national chain of these vegan Indian restaurants, each of which have this whole amazing delivery system, right, to the public for free. So it's like, you want to dine-in experience with kind of the in crowd, go to the restaurant. I don't know if we take reservations or if everyone has to stand in line. Let's make it egalitarian. Otherwise, you're going to have everyone else out in the cold and the elites, squatting at the tables. So no, everyone, same rules for everyone. I mean, obviously, if the Pope shows up, when the Pope shows up, we'll make special accommodations. But anyway, the bottom line is the restaurant itself will just be this amazing hotbed. right? With a big long line with Michiganders and ladies, and I mean, just like, whoa. And we're all just having a blast, because it's not just a restaurant, it's a mission to feed everyone plant-based food. Those are the two main pillars for constructing Homo ahimsa, for becoming Homo ahimsa, right? The new species. So just like we talked about in my talk about food healers becoming that seed crystal, this national and then international restaurant chain with all the associated food healers like tents, and there may be more than one surrounding a given restaurant. This will be like a big format restaurant where everyone goes to see and be seen and be part of the hotbed. In addition to regular tables, there'll be communal tables, right? Where people can show up and just meet people they haven't met before or people they recognize or whatever. But it's kind of like a game on mixer versus if you just want to have a date, whatever. Go ahead, Michael.
May I be the first to wish you happiest, healthiest birthday.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamin.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's May
Thank you.
5th in my time zone, in our time zones. Thank you, Michael.
Unless you look in the chat.
Oh, I think Marco beat you to it. Thank you, Marco. Yeah. Anyway, but Michael wins for, style and form of delivery. All right, I'm going to pause recording for a second. Now, one other factor is that at both the restaurant and the pop-up tents, right, there's going to be music, entertainment, speeches, microphones, all kinds of stuff. So it's like designed into the experience. Again, most of the talking and banter is outside where the line is, and then you get your table inside. And there might be some back patio tables that have access to the conversation on the street as well. Let's call it on the street. And just like 2 or 3 blocks away is one of the major tourist corridors of the world in terms of number of tourists per year. It's up there. So the idea will then spread and spread and spread. And listen to this, we're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. Like I'm working on this with Prabhat. Paige provide a lot of inspiration. All the people in the video that you'll see provided inspiration. And, this is basically food healers on steroids, because finally there's an economic engine, an economic model with which to support the food healers like tents, right? And to the point that for each of those food healers like operations with the tents, there will be a paid manager, well paid, to organize that whole thing. Anyway, Michael, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Building certified community compassion at the local level. Wow. What a community hub.
Yeah, exactly. And the restaurant chain becomes a certified compassionate company, right? Because all its profits go to feeding people, and we'll work out exactly about the economics for investors and everything so that the whole thing can get well funded, take off like crazy. So anyway, all that'll be totally transparent and actually discussed. Nothing will be set in stone until we sort it out together. And that's one of the cool things, is this is going to be a co-creative, program movement. But, we're going to start in LA. We've already got the food healers portion down. We just scale it up to, basically 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. And then, but it's freaking borderline gourmet. We bring in the best chefs, and it just becomes a total public event, public spectacle, ongoing. We've been doing that, the food healers thing, once a month. Can you imagine 3 times a day? That's 90 times the meals in a given month. We're almost 100x. And so if to the extent we've been making a splash so far, multiply it by 100, right? And then the fact that it's really good food, really good entertainment, well managed. There'll still be volunteers, but there'll be a paid manager whose job it is to get up early, make sure everything's running just fine, make sure everything's working, and just super professional, like with nonviolent education.
Yeah, may I add, May I add, may I add that we'll pay a living wage to our
Um,
people?
it'll be beyond a living wage.
Wonderful.
It'll be generous,
Yeah.
generous compensation. And here's the thing. Can you imagine the tips at the restaurant? They're going to be huge. People are going to be so, because this is, again, this is the movement. This is unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. This is way beyond having, restaurants where, oh, there's a Unity bowl, whatever, it costs $1 or free if you want. I mean, that's all good. But you're still playing on the same playing field of restaurants where most of it's money and, blah, blah, blah. Here with the tents, just totally free giveaway. It's going to be amazing along with the food delivery. And so it's just going to be, this is the seed crystal for Homo. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, imagine the hummus and the baba ganoush that we could have with the pita bread. Oh,
Okay.
that'd be so good.
No, fresh,
Wow.
fresh blended hummus, and then like on the same truck that does the deliveries, we could even be, do blending fresh smoothies right there on the truck. And because that's super nutrition for folks who've been in a food desert. And another cool thing I thought is that for the restaurant, whether it's in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Miami, it doesn't matter. For the restaurant, if it's your first time, everything's on us, right? Except maybe like the bar or something. If we have, if you want to just drink yourself under the table, that's on you. But all the food's on us. Come join us. Food and agua fresca, tea. You don't have to pay a penny, and you don't have to leave a tip. It's fine. This doesn't have to be a transaction. In fact, let's make it not a transaction. You can't leave a tip. If you're our guest, you're our guest, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like if I go to your house, and you serve me a nice dinner, I'm not going to leave you a tip. I'm not going to put a $10 bill on the damn table. It's ridiculous. So the first time, please don't, and then you know what? People are going to just fall in love with it. And then they're going to keep coming back and bringing their friends. And hey, when you bring your friend, everything's free for them too, So if it's your first time, I don't care whether individually or in a group, we take care of you. It's on us. And oh my goodness, everyone's going to love it because it's like free. Your first experience is free food. Eat up right in front of you, whether at the tent or the restaurant, and it's on us. So everyone, this is crucial. Everyone gets that experience of receiving the food as a gift. So that's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I could go on, and we will tomorrow. We'll also talk about some of the songs. I've been working on some songs, everything from Just Can't Get Enough of Plant-Based Food, Just Can't Get Enough, all the way to, Dead or Alive, Brand New Lover. What I really need to do is find myself a brand new diet. When it comes to plant-based foods, I just can't keep quiet. What I really need to do is find a brand new diet, all the way to listen to the Spanish love songs. Instead of Caminos de Michoacan, it's going to be Veganos de Michoacan, vegans of Michoacan. And that song is going to go viral. I mean, let's get this properly recorded and edited and just turn it into, it'll go crazy. Veganos de Michoacan. Y pueblos donde escondiendo.
Yeah, you're going to the top of the charts, Jamie.
This is going to go crazy because Darth Vegan is now a veteran. Remember those movies they made about Nam, where there's always some 50-year-old dude with scars up the kazoo who's been in the military since before you were born, boy. I'm all freaking veteraned out. Darth, what do you think, Darth? Are we ready for another good run? We're ready. Oh, we're so crazy ready. Anyway, so we're gonna have these amazing songs, English, Spanish, and then because it's Indian, we're literally gonna get Bollywood style. Street theater. And top-notch food. Those hot Indian teas that are kind of whatever, they're very substantial and dark Indian tea.
Yeah, the chai tea, perhaps the chai.
The chai, and there's others. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there are many. Yes, indeed.
And that
Tea
was,
is so tea is
and,
so healthy.
and then with agua fresca and everything, I mean, dude, it's going to be a crazy love fest. It's going to be drop your pants love fest. It's just going to go crazy. No, really, it's just going to go nuts. And then it'll build and build and build. It'll from LA, we project to the world, right? With all the media and everything. And listen, with the songs, the songs, I could go on and on, but my mom and I tonight rehearsed about probably 20 songs. We were just going all over the place. It was amazing. But anyway, the entertainment, and that's just, and we're bringing in the arts generally. And with all these cool lyrics we're going to have flying around and ballads and everything about veganism, we're going
Yeah,
to,
that's worth starting a GoFundMe. I'd put in $5 for that, 5, $10. I'd be glad to support a GoFundMe
yeah,
to
thank you, man.
launch. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's worth
thank you.
considering. Thank you.
And lots of people will. And we'll also get big investors. It's time to do this now because, like, here we are teetering on the edge of nuclear war, exponential global warming, just set to overwhelm us in the next few years, like not even 5, according to Sam Karana. Right. So we're in serious doo-doo here. And so on so many fronts, I mean, on what front are we like, okay? Population, no. Pandemics, no. COVID's not over. And
Yeah, we're building certified
but
compassionate communities, literally.
yeah, exactly. Um, it, so anyway, we're going to check all the check boxes for saying, listen, we need to urgently push forward on the saving, healing, and transforming of life on Earth. And so this is one component of it. Kindred spirits is another. All the work we do in the realm of the indigenous and the spiritual across all around the world. So that's a whole other, area. But really everything blends together because we're all indigenous to Mother Earth. According to Chief Phil Lane Jr., we're all sisters and brothers. So what's most important is that we get the word out and get these movements rolling, right? And then through all the gatherings that we'll do, it's the in-person gatherings. And what this does, this magnetizes community. I mean, can you imagine anything that's going to magnetize more or better than exactly what we're talking about? Is it going to take some
Yeah,
digging?
may I promote a phrase? The
Yeah.
proof of the pudding is it the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. And we'll have like rice pudding.
Oh, dude, no, the food's going to be amazing. The beverages are going to be amazing, hot and cold, everything else, the experiences, all that. And so we're going to finally create this love fest. I mean, literally, the two main things this promotes: veganism, the world going vegan, and everyone eating. Those are two different things. Boom, put them together. It's magic, right? So anyway, and ahimsa, the spiritual is built into it with ahimsa. That's the goal, transforming our species. So anyway, couldn't be more excited. Come join us. We're going to talk about all kinds of elements of this, not just music and dance and theater and everything, but all the arts coming into it. And with the writers on strike in Hollywood, this gives them something to write about because this is community. They can do this. They'll have lots of free time. So, and this is exactly what we need. This is a community coming together, feeding each other, caring for Mother Earth, spreading the good word, collective intelligence. I mean, from the communal tables to all the conversation happening outside the restaurant, freaking probably 12 hours a day easily. This becomes the hotbed for global transformation. This becomes the seed crystal for Homo Ahimsa. So, any questions, any comments?
No questions, just can't wait for tomorrow.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much. And thanks everyone for watching.